he just kept saying to me, Dad, do your test, come on. Took my test, I passed, purchased my bike, parked up in a lay-by. I knew what route he took home. He's chatting away saying, God, I don't know who that is behind me, but it's a nice bike. He's looked in his mirror, he's waved me past and said, do you want to come through?
This video is proudly brought to you by you. But I'll tell you what I'm noticing. The subscription rate isn't matching the views. I see you guys. Hit that subscription button if you want to see more content. It would mean a lot. Hello, I am the Rhythmic Biker. And did you know BMW once released a video on YouTube titled The Oldest Trick in the World, which showed a previous generation of today's featured bike pulling a tablecloth off a dining table without disturbing any of the table decorations. That's pretty impressive stuff. In the last episode, we were joined by Scotty, who brought in his Kawasaki ZZR 1400 Performance Sport Gen 2. He spoke about why it was so worthy of its booster-killing reputation. But in today's episode, we have the poster bike for BMW Motorrad.
These are the wolf tails.
My name's Baz. I also go under the name of Boo Rider 61. This is my BMW S1000 RR M Sport. It's my pride and joy. Where the name comes from with Boo Rider, my mum used to call me Boo when I was younger. 61 is the year I was born.
So we are joined by Baz, a close personal friend of mine who has brought in his badass BMW S1000 RR M Sport. A bike that initially started out life being created just to compete in the 2009 Superbike Championships. With that said, I'm really looking forward to this one. So let's get straight in to the deep dive. Hello and welcome to the deep dive. I'm joined by Baz today. And Baz, kick us off. What have you brought in?
I've brought in my 2021 BMW S1000 RR M Sports.
Awesome stuff. Let's get straight into it. Why? Why the BMW S1000 RR M Sport?
Mainly because I was sport for choice. I had the money in the bank and was looking for something pretty special. Tried various bikes and couldn't really decide. Then I watched a YouTube clip of some guys took some bikes away to Portugal, and they done tests on them. The tests were they had to do a track day and they had to do a day's riding in the mountains. And when they came back, they was in a villa and they all sat there around the pool having a beer and all spoke about their day's riding on the bike they had. One particular guy had the Ducati, which I tried, and said, awesome bike, love the bike, and done the pros and the cons of it. Then one of the other chaps, he had the Aprilia, done exactly the same, said lovely bike, if they've sorted this problem out, if they've sorted that problem out, it would be a great bike. Then the guy that took this out, they asked him, what did you think? And he said, mate, it is mind-blowing. And it was like, really? And they said, yeah, just wait until you have your turn on it. So the next day they spun the bikes around, came in, sat around the pool, had a beer, and they again asked the guy with the Ducati what he thought, give his opinion. The guy with the Aprilia, the Yamaha, the Kawasaki, and then come to the guy with the BM. He said, "What do you think?" He said, "Mate, I thought you was joking. I really thought you was joking, but it is amazing what it can do, how easy it is to ride, which it is. It is so easy to ride." And went on from there. And each day they all took the same bike, different bike out, and come back with just flying colours. So went to BMW, borrowed one, and fell in love with it, and just love it.
Love at first sight.
Yeah. And just makes me grin every time I go on it. Just makes me grin. My children come along, and one of them was Brandon, and felt I needed to spend a lot more time with him. The time I missed out, me and his mum got divorced when Brandon was 4, and just felt like I missed a big chunk of his life doing things with him. And he's always been into bikes. He started on for a step through 125, and now he's on a Yamaha MT10. He just kept saying to me, Dad, do your test. Come on, let's do something. And I took the test, bought my bike, and we spend as much time as we can together. Taking your test is just amazing. It changes your life. Get out there, meet a lot of new people, places to go. Well, it's one of them things what you wish you would have done earlier, really. But I feel like it was the right time to do it now. Well, I've grown up, and a lot more respect for people and the machine I'm on, really.
I know you're a man who's obviously rode quite a lot of high performance bikes, and sticking on the sort of theme of this being special, the competition for this, obviously, you have your bog standard, your Fireblades, your R1s, stuff that you can pretty much, you see them out and about near enough at all bike meets. But I would almost put these up against, like you say, the Aprilias, the Ducati Pellegrini V4. What makes this stand out from those already top elite bikes? What makes this so special?
Probably the engineering in it, really. It's been awesome. It's had one recall for the timing chain tensioner, but they're all being recalled for that. That's only through racing and pushing it to its limits all day, every day. Apart from that, it's faultless, absolutely faultless. It's unbelievable reliability.
Lovely.
Typical German, it's great, and it's so easy to ride.
You talked there about, obviously, the fact that it's come from its racing and everything like that with the recall and everything, and it is set up. It looks like a complete track bike, especially to the untrained eye like myself. What are we talking? We're talking about 207 brake horsepower, 130 newton meters of torque. Those are eye-watering figures, special figures, I would almost say. Is that what you look for when you're looking for a bike? Are you one of these where you like the top performance? Are you more about the reliability that maybe BMW offer, or is it a combination of all of it?
No, it's not about power. It's my pride and joy. It's my pride and joy. I don't track day. It's for me to go out in the nice weather and enjoy it. It's simply that. The Panigales, all that are lovely. It's just what I prefer. We all like different bikes. We all like different choice. Motorcycling community, very different breeds of people out there, really. You've got the people on the adventure bikes, you've got people on the Harleys. We all like different bikes. There is a different attitude definitely between different people out there. You find that it's supposed to be a brotherhood, and you wave, you nod. I seem to do it to everybody, but you get a lot of people that don't acknowledge you, give you a wave, give you a nod. There is a different culture between it. But I ride with a lot of various people, different powered bikes, different style bikes, and we have a proper laugh. We do have a laugh, and it's just great fun. Different variety of people out there, male or female, young or old.
This is obviously the M Sport package. Can you tell me what comes with the M Sport as opposed to just the standard S1000 RR?
Yeah, to start with, it's lithium battery, it's carbon wheels, M Sport chain, it's a maintenance-free chain on there, and some of the rider modes, it's got extra rider modes on it, as in track. You've got two versions of track on there.
And do you get to use and utilise these even when out road riding? Are the modes quite suitable for that style of riding?
Yeah. You've obviously got wet mode for roads when they're damp and wet, which calms a bike right down, very manageable. You've got road. Road is very calm. It's nice. It makes the bike very smooth. And then you've got dynamic, which makes it a bit more exciting. It stiffens the bike up. Then you've got track, very different versions of track mode. My story, funny enough, brings Brandon into the topic again. Took my test, I passed. I went and purchased my bike. I purchased it on a Saturday. It was ready for collection the following Saturday. So I thought, I know what I do. I didn't tell Brandon I was taking my test. It was all a complete shock to him. I rode all the way over to Bracknell, where Brandon lives. He works on a Saturday. I knew what route he took home, got over there, parked up in a lay-by. At that particular time he was riding Suzuki Bandit, had a distinctive sound to it. He came past and I pulled out from behind him. He's chatting away saying, "Cool, I don't know who that is behind me, but it's a nice bike." He's looked in his mirror, he's waved me past and said, "Do you want to come through?" One particular road we went down, I went past him, I waved, he gave me the thumbs up, pulled up outside his mum's address, and he pulled up, turned his ignition off, and he said, "Sorry, I don't know who you are." And I said, "It's Dad." He just looked at me and said, "No way."
I haven't worked out who it is yet. Who is it? Dad. Dad? You're lying. You're fucking lying. No fucking way.
Yeah, it was quite funny. Very, very funny. Very funny.
Like we've talked about, and you've been very kind in showing us just how light the carbon fibre is here. We've obviously got, you know, carbon fibre wheels, we've got carbon fibre all over the bike, we've got a lightweight titanium exhaust. The bike altogether only weighs about 193 kilograms. Is that, again, is it necessary? Do you feel the benefits of that when riding, or even on the road, or is that more specifically towards track theme?
Yeah, massively. It's just so light. It's lovely. It's the exhaust. I was given a tip when I purchased the bike. I ordered the bike and bought it on a Saturday. I had to collect it the next Saturday, and went to one of the biker cafes. They're chatting to a guy that had exactly the same bike, and chatting to him, and he said, "If I can give you any good advice," he said, "change the exhaust straight away." The exhaust, the weight difference in the exhaust is incredible.
Yeah.
It sheds so much weight off it. So that's one mod that I've done on it, is the exhaust system.
And sticking on mods just there, what have you done? What are your personal touches to this bike so far?
All the carbon, took the plastics off, changed it to carbon. I've changed the levers. Mirrors is quite a recent one. I've changed the mirrors.
I love that. They're so slick, aren't they? Very defined.
So good. And believe it or not, personally myself, when I had the BMW mirrors, it was, you just could not see behind you.
No.
It was all fuzzy.
Why was that? Was that more positioning, or was that?
I think because they were long.
Right.
It's got the indicators in it, and they seem to be top heavy. And it caught all my shoulders here, and I was forever riding and looking left to right. Them ones now, the seating position on the bike when I'm sat here, that goes straight through here.
So you've got that gap under your arm. You can see the lanes. You can see who's coming.
Although the mirrors are smaller, I can see.
Just goes to show about the positioning. And I think it tidies the front of it up a little bit as well, because the slickness of them
makes the front look very, very pretty.
And again, just more aerodynamic design and stuff like that. Yeah. Is there anything, I know recently you've done the
rear tail end, I've changed the lights on the tail end. So it makes that obviously a lot cleaner in the back there. No tail tidy.
It cleans it all up, like you say, doesn't it? It makes it more slick, makes it more togetherness. Is there anything else that you'd be looking to do to this bike in the future, or do you reach an end point?
Not really. I think it's the end point now. There's a serious amount of money spent in there, let alone the bike alone. there's a lot of money. Carbon is not cheap. But
Carbon is not cheap at all. But sticking with the money theme, obviously these bikes are not your everyday run-of-the-mill. Everyone has one sort of bikes, and the modifications available to it as well are really up there. Do you see it all as quite worth it? You know, do you see it as can't beat that riding experience?
Can't beat. Obviously, changed the exhaust system, decatted it. Still got the lambda sensors in there. Which makes it very, very good on mapping. The mapping is very smooth on it now. Power-wise, pickup, it is just mind-blowing.
Was it necessary, the map? Because I know you've had this bike tweaked, you've had it worked on, but beforehand, was it anything that you had a gripe against, or was it just, you just wanted it much more purer, much cleaner on the acceleration side of things?
It's advised to get it mapped when you change the exhaust.
Okay.
Advised to keep the lambda sensors in. The standard BMW had a problem where a lot of power, it evened itself out and then peaked back up, peaked. When I first had it mapped, obviously put it on the rolling road, they give me the performance of it and showed me the scale of the map. Then they remapped it. Then that was just constantly dead straight line all the way up till it peaked. And yes, just mind-blowing. Difference in the handling coming out of corners, picks up quicker. And fuel consumption, really. I've not lost any fuel consumption. It's very, very economical on fuel, unless you give it some. More
than you'd think once having it remapped and everything like that.
Yeah.
Do you notice do you have to be a little bit more delicate coming out of the corners, coming off the roundabouts, does the traction control look after it?
No, it looks after it. It just picks up quicker. All I was advised when I had it mapped was just be careful. Don't go into, you've had the bike a little while now, you're used to it, you know it's good and it's bad, but after being remapping, that was just a different level.
Yeah.
Just a different level. Just such a joy. I was always very close to the girls, mainly because after splitting up from his mum, I used to have the children every other weekend. But it got to a stage where the girls would come, but Brandon wouldn't. He was doing his own thing. He was doing his fishing. He was sleepovers, all that type of thing. And we sort of drifted away for a little while. We drifted away, started making a bond again together. This is when he said, "Come on, Dad, take your test. Get a bike. Let's do things together." That was why it meant so much to me. Taking my test and spending some time with him, it's been amazing, really. Missed a big chunk of his life, massively.
You speak with a lot of praise and a lot of positivity towards the bike. Are there any gripes with it whatsoever? Any flaws that could maybe be sort of developed in I know we've been talking off camera about the 2023 one that you've had the chance to ride, but you actually don't think it's as good? Or
I borrowed one last week. As I said, it went in for a recall, timing chain tensioner. Used the new bike. Had that for about 3 hours, so I had plenty of time. Normally on a test ride, it's not enough time.
No chance.
So yeah, I took that out, took it back, and although they say it's 210 brake horsepower, it doesn't feel as nice as this.
No.
I believe it's because of the mapping. Obviously you get through Euro 5, Euro 6.
This is it.
And this is far, far smoother. Far, far smoother.
Beautiful.
Would I part exchange this and buy one of them? No.
No.
Not at all. Not at all.
And we were also talking as well, like you are on the market at the moment for a second bike, maybe something a bit more naked styling.
Yeah.
They obviously do the S1000R of this. Why is it that for your main bike, if you will, your first bike, why this styling? Why with the protection, with the fairings, but the naked bike is a second? Is there a reason behind that?
Yeah, mainly because this is the reason for I'm looking for a second bike is this is my pride and joy. I love it. Would I sell it? No. But I feel that I'm missing out on riding in the winter.
Yeah.
I would still like to ride throughout the winter. There's nothing better than getting out on the bike, is there? It's just nothing like it.
Even when the weather's poor.
Yeah, even when you have a bad day, that people say that wind therapy, just getting out there, this makes me smile so much. So yeah, just having another bike. Would it be another sports bike? No, definitely not. It'd be a naked. is where I want to go.
Would there be much point in getting the S1000R, or do you need to come away from BMW?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with BMW. Love it. The service you get from them is second to none. They really look after you. But do I want to open the garage door up and have 2 BMWs sat there? Especially when there's such nicer bikes out there.
Yeah, for that naked styling, definitely.
Yeah.
These obviously do get a lot of attention. You know, they are like we've talked about, they're beasts of weapons and all of that. But what would you say to someone who is on the market for this style of bike and they've got unlimited sort of funds available? Obviously, we've spoke about the Ducatis available. We've spoke about the Aprilias. Why this bike in terms of, like, if for someone who's looking, why should they go for this? Or do you believe they should maybe try them all as well?
Try them all. You've got to try them all. We all like different bikes. You know, we all. Yeah, there is still some lovely bikes out there. The Ducati's nice. The only problem I felt with Ducati was I just felt it very harsh.
Okay.
Very, very harsh. This
Is that harsh on acceleration and brake, or just the whole
mainly
ride?
just going through the towns and stuff
Okay.
like that. Maybe if it was mapped like this one is, it'd be a lot smoother. But you know, I can go through a high street and it's just so smooth all the way through. Just so smooth. And even sixth gear, you could just open it up. You can just open it up in 6 and it will go.
Yeah.
And smooth. It's just beautiful. It's just
Throughout
beautiful.
all the rev range.
Yeah.
That pretty much would already answer my last.
Yeah.
I was going to say with the power of the bike and with its aerodynamic styling, its light, you know, the lightness of it all. Is it too track focused for the road, or do you think if with the appropriate rider, it still can be an everyday sort of road bike?
No, definitely, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's deceiving.
Other people, you go on YouTube, other people say you could tour on this if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Myself, I couldn't imagine it. I don't know why. It's the styling of it. When it then comes to track bikes again, because obviously there's a lot of risks involved with tracks, do you then maybe think the complete opposite? Do you think that these are perhaps too nice, too expensive for track use? Or again, if it's a tool in the right hands?
Tooling, yeah, if it's a tool in the right hands. It's if you, I don't know. It's my first big bike, so it's my pride and joy. Would I track it? No, not at all.
Not at all.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
To me, there's a lot of people that's got so much money it doesn't matter. They're on a track bike. And,
They can bin that and then just go and buy another one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That would lead me on. Another good question then. You obviously have loved this. It's first big bike. Obviously, as time goes on and we get further and further, what could you see yourself going towards? Would you still stay with this styling of bike, or would you maybe, as you've said, you've test rode now the 2023, you've had a nice long ride with that. What else sort of tickles your fancy in this styling as a main bike?
Nothing in a sports bike, I don't think. It'd just be naked now. I'll keep this while I can.
Yeah.
With my age and whatever, it doesn't matter to me the seating position. The riding position, I'm still fit and able to ride it. It's a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't ride a sports bike. I can't do that."
The age and the
They
back.
have the
and
age,
everything.
yeah.
But
so
you
they
don't
have a
feel
lot.
that.
No, not at all. Not at all. No. I used to when I first got it. Obviously, being very nervous, I used to find my wrist used to ache, my neck, but that was just through tension. I mean, I can't take this to its limit. I can't ride this to its limit.
We've had a lot of guests
I don't
on.
mind admitting to that. I could not take this to its limit.
Yeah. It's one of those bikes, isn't it, where it will always almost outride the rider. It thinks quicker, it acts faster, and
Definitely,
I think
definitely.
it fits into that category.
The only thing I would say I didn't like about it was the mirrors.
Yeah.
Didn't like the mirrors. One thing I do love about the bike is the quick shifter.
Yes.
That is mind-blowing.
How does it compare to, obviously, as we've said, you've rode a lot of high-performance bikes. How does the quick shifter behave in regards to others? I recently rode a Hayabusa where I thought it was all right, but definitely a bit clunkier than what I've known on other sort of the Ducati models.
Yeah. A lot of models are clunky. They are chunky and clunky. This is just mind-blowingly smooth. It's unbelievable. Quick shifter up, and you've got downshift as well. You can use. So
Is it quite forgiving? Lets you do it in a wider range of revs? Where do you need to be at to activate
don't
it?
need to at all. The only thing BMW do state is it's not advised to do it while you're going through a high street at low speed.
No.
30 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour.
It's designed to pick up that pace and
use
pick
your
it up
clutch,
quick.
yeah. But once you're going, it's Never missed a beat. Never
No.
missed a beat.
Would you find it
That is
hard?
mind blowing.
Would you find it hard to even sort of transfer over back to conventional sort of clutching way with the
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I've took, as I said, looking for a second bike. I've tried the V4 Street Fighter. I've tried the H2 because that's where I want to be, around that sort of second bike.
Yeah.
I took a Kawasaki out and that didn't have quick shift, and I took it back.
That was the Z900, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I've took the 765 Triumph out. And I've took the 1200 Triumph out, and very, very nice.
Yeah.
But
Missing, isn't it? It's missing those key features
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
think
yeah.
the top brands, the Aprilias, the Ducatis, I suppose the H2s, and then of course
Yeah.
the BMWs just put in a bit more towards their bikes.
yeah, I've took KTM. I took the KTM out, and I was literally out 15 minutes, went back. And
Really?
I just said to him,
That
it's not for me.
No.
And then the guy said, look, mate, with what you've got, you're pretty spoiled. It just wasn't for me, you know. It's a nice bike, it's an animal bike, but just not for me. I've been spoiled, really, I suppose. But
No, I love it, and to be fair, I agree with you so much. It's a lovely looking bike. You obviously keep it as well in tip-top
Yeah, yeah.
condition, cleaning and all that jazz.
everything I own, I sort of look after, respect.
Yeah. You
yeah,
have to when
yeah.
you've got a beast like this, don't you?
Yeah, I just love it. And yeah, there's days I won't go out on it. It's just
It's not feasible. It's not
No.
worth it a lot of the time as well. If you've got something this prestige and you don't even want to, you want to eliminate all the risks entirely. Yeah, have it. It's got its time and its place. Hopefully, we're reaching the nicer weather as well soon. So
yeah.
be out on it all the time.
Yeah,
then.
all the time. Then yeah.
Wonderful
Yeah.
stuff.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
A heartwarming story there about how motorcycling has brought Barry and Brandon closer together. Absolutely lovely stuff. Remember, guys, we would love to have you here as a guest on Wolf Tales. So please use the Instagram link down below to get in contact with us. Remember to like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Merch link can also be found in the description. I am the Rhythmic Biker, and these are the Wolf Tales.
These are the Wolf Tales.